What is up, everyone? Season 13 of Go Battle League has begun, and we're starting off this season with some of the biggest winners of this season's move update, the Wing Attackers. Wing Attack received a buff to its energy gain, going from 7 energy per Wing Attack to 8 energy, which might seem like a pretty small change, but it is very significant, as it allows these Wing Attack users to be quite a bit spammier. Especially Gliscor went from being an extremely bait-dependent Pokemon, needing to bait to win against Common Steel types like Registeel or Stunfisk, to just being able to go straight Earthquake in those matches. As you get to this Earthquakes pretty quickly now. I really like Gliscor, because it can do stuff like that regular flyers cannot. Just completely destroy those rock and steel types, which is why I'm leading it on this team. You know, we need the anti-steel flyer in the lead, so my other flyers can take care of the rest and don't have to worry about the steel type. Of course, this first game, not really that difficult of a game versus 1400 CP Pokemon, but those are day one battles for you. It's not always, you're not always gonna face serious teams, but that was definitely the lowest CP team I faced today. Anyway, this next match I face a Quagsire, which decided to straight Acid Spray me. Luckily I no shield that. I went for the Night Slash hoping they'd shield, but unfortunately they did not, which means I'm gonna have to fire a couple more to take out this Quagsire. They're gonna go for a move here. I'm really hoping it's another Acid Spray, but no, it's actually a Stone Edge, and it almost kills me. So the way this team is all supposed to work is I'm supposed to switch out of Gliscor if there's not an electric type or a steel type in the lead. But this time I stayed in, thinking that I didn't want to get Stone Edge on Noctowl or Pelipper. And now, if there's an electric type in the back, I'm pretty screwed. So, yeah, it's not too great. Luckily, there's no electric type in the back, though. But that Toxapex can be quite a problem too for Pelipper and Noctowl. Toxapex is just so incredibly tanky that Noctowl, even now that Wing Attack has been buffed, has some trouble versus it. But with teamwork, it should be fine. Luckily, they had Dragonair in the back, which is a pretty squishy Pokemon, meaning that Noctowl and Pelipper should probably be able to deal with it. Let the next Sky Attack go on their Dragonair. At this point, I'm fine letting Noctowl go down, farming down this Dragonair with my Pelipper, and then I need to get a Hurricane off on that Toxapex. Problem is, though, Toxapex already has a good chunk of energy, meaning that if I shield up a Brine here, I'm probably gonna have to bait. But I'm hoping to go for Sludge Wave, so shield it up. But no, they went for the Brine, they got the bait. This means that if I want to win this game, I have to go for the bait myself. Do they fall for it? They do. And now I should be able to reach the Hurricane right before the Sludge Wave. Will it knock out the Toxapex? Of course not. Toxapex doesn't die to anything. It's so incredibly tanky. So I actually end up catching the Sludge Wave onto my Gliscor. This knocks it out, and then I can farm it down with my Pelipper. GG's. Next game, a champ lead. This is very nice for a triple flyer team. They actually switch out, try to catch a Night Slash, I think, or something. I don't know. They switch out into their cast form, which I have a very solid answer to in Pelipper. Pelipper is truly back, by the way. Pelipper wasn't meta for a while, but now with the Wing Attack buff, it's gotta be so strong. It gets to Weather Balls it gets to the first Weather Ball in 5 Wing Attacks, but the second in 4. So 2 Weather Balls, 9 Wing Attacks instead of the previous 10. That is pretty huge. Allows it to beat Pokemon like Galarian Stunfisk more convincingly, because previously, if a Galarian Stunfisk had 1 Mudshot advantage, Pelipper would lose. Now, if the Galarian Stunfisk has 1 Mudshot advantage, Pelipper will win, as you do get there 1 quicker. Also, once you've done 2 cycles of 2 Weather Balls, so 5-4, 5-4, they've thrown 4 Weather Balls. The 5th Weather Ball is also 4. So keep that in mind when you're counting Wing Attacks. First Weather Ball 5, second 4, third 5, fourth 4, 5th 4, and then that continues again. But it's unlikely you'll get that far, honestly, because Pelipper is quite squishy. Oh my, this game we faced the Electivire, which obviously is a problem for my team, and Ice Punch for my Gliscor destroyed that thing, and now I bring in Pelipper versus an electric type, which, well, isn't too great. Oh, by the way, these battles were done in Great League Remix, mainly because of Lantern. I really wish Honestly, maybe I should have just done Open Great League, because I think this team would have been fun in Open Great League, because I could have destroyed some Registeel and Stunfisk with Gliscor, but, you know, I didn't really want to face any Lanturns, so that's why I'm playing Great League Remix instead. Okay, Noctowl comes in, they bring in a Lapras. I was worried when I saw the ice typing for a second there, but it's a Water Gun Lapras, which is definitely nice for me. About Noctowl, by the way, previously Noctowl got to 3 Sky Attacks in first Sky Attack 7 Wing Attacks, then 6 Wing Attacks, and then 7 Wing Attacks. So 20 Wing Attacks for 3 Sky Attacks. Now it gets to 3 Sky Attacks in 6 Wing Attacks, then 6 Wing Attacks again, and then 5 Wing Attacks. So Noctowl has gone from getting to 3 Sky Attacks in 20 Wing Attacks to getting there in 17. So that's a pretty significant change, and definitely one to be wary of when you face Noctowls, because they are gonna be extremely common. Shadow Ball's 55 energy, so that would mean that you get there in 7 Wing Attacks, right? Because 7 times 8 is 56, yeah, and then you have 1 residual, so 7 Wing Attacks for a Shadow Ball, which is compared to the 8 it previously took. So yeah, Noctowl gets to the Shadow Ball 1 earlier than back in the day. Okay, next game, we faced a Toxapex lead, which is pretty okay for Gliscor. I don't think it's like an amazing matchup, just they can hit me with a Brine. But, you know, they had to switch out eventually into the Cofagrigus. This is just amazing for Noctowl. Cofagrigus switch is definitely not something I'd recommend to anyone in the current meta, as Noctowls are just everywhere. As you can see, Noctowl just destroyed this Cofagrigus. I even misplayed this a little bit. I was really hoping the Shadow Ball would knock out, and then I would end up with a pretty healthy Noctowl after that matchup, but it lived on freaking 1 HP, and I couldn't get more farm, so I could have ended that matchup with much more farm if I would have just held off on throwing my energy and threw right before the next Dark Pulse. So a little bit of a misplay there, but still, I ended up with a pretty still healthy-ish Noctowl with a Sky Attack loaded, basically, so it just shows how dominant that Noctowl Cofagrigus matchup is. There's like, we see another dominant matchup here, Pelipper into Kanto Ninetales. Yeah, this is very nice for Pelipper. I can just throw my Weather Ball, fully farm down at this point, and we should be looking pretty good. Actually, I ended up shooting this because an overheat would hurt, but I think it would still survive it. Nah, maybe not. Pelipper's pretty squishy. But yeah, I was safe shooting that, as I do get to the Hurricane before the Sludge Wave here. And this will take out the Toxapex. Yeah, fire types in the current meta are gonna have a rough time, because Pelipper will be more common. But you know, I think fire types have always had a rough time, as, you know, Swampert, Azumarill have always been there. Actually, thinking about it, maybe there will be less Swampert, because there will be more flyers like Pelipper. Swampert will have a rough time, which might make it easier for fire types. Then on the other hand, we're also probably gonna see less Altaria, since Noctowl will be the main preferred flyer, and less Altaria would also make it easier for Swampert to shine. So it's quite tough to you know, predict what the meta is gonna be like. So I really look forward to seeing it evolve, really. We can't really say anything about how the meta will form until we've seen it happen, and that will take a couple weeks at least. So I look forward to that. And in the meantime, we're just gonna be trying out random stuff to see what sticks. Oh, I don't think Breloom will stick though. Oh my, I love the spice by my opponent here. Breloom, Plusle, but those will definitely not be meta. But, you know, pretty fun. I think Plusle has like Grass Knot or something, or is that Minim? I'm actually not sure. But yeah, they actually throw Thunderbolt, so we're not gonna find out. It definitely has electric moves, but it's not an amazing Pokemon. I think I have one built myself, actually, for a Sylph meta back in the day, where it did do some work. But yeah, Plusle definitely not a great Pokemon, just like Breloom. I'm just going to show this move though. So I did do the shield up somewhere. Breloom has extremely high attack, and Dynamic Punch would hurt, but ends up just being a Seed Bomb, which is fine. In the end, I can farm it down. Out comes a Blastoise now. I actually really enjoyed running Blastoise like a week ago in an Open Great League tournament I did. and it's a very good Pokemon. It's a very, very strong Pokemon. But I think in this season, unfortunately, there will be much more Lantern. I think Lantern is really going to be good this season, since there's going to be less Altaria, which is a problem for Lantern. Probably less Grass as well, which is also a problem for Lantern. That just allows Lantern to shine, because it just completely destroys those Flyers. Yeah, bye-bye, Blastoise. Which is exactly why I'm playing Great League Remix, since I don't want to see a Lantern into this team, that's for sure. Charizard is a very fun Pokemon. My opponent here actually running Dragon Breath. But I think with Wing Attack, I don't think with Dragon Breath it's very good, but with Wing Attack, I think it's actually extremely solid in the current meta. It gets to those blast bursts extremely fast, and it actually completely destroys Noctowl if you can get a bait. If you get like one Dragon Claw bait, you can get to the blast burn before the second Sky Attack, and you just completely obliterate the Noctowl with that blast burn, and you end up winning the ones very convincingly. So I think Charizard Wing Attack has play. Besides that, of course, the Flier that has play against the Steels, and that's huge because Steel types generally get paired with like a Metacham, and having a breaker for that is pretty nice. And they are not that common. You know, we have Gliscor, we have Runerigus, and then we have Charizard that can kind of break that Steel fighting core. Oh yeah, and Trevenant, of course. But I think that's it, kinda. Oh, some fire types can do it. Oh, Talonflame, of course. Okay, there's more Pokemon. There are more Pokemon that do that, but it is still a common core. So breaking that with like a Charizard or Gliscor or Trevenant is very, very nice. Anyway, Beedrill doesn't like to see Flyers, that's for sure. So, yeah, that's actually the really nice thing about this team is whenever someone brings a Pokemon that's weak to Flyers, they've usually lost. Like there's a Toxstroke in the lead here. There's no way they're winning this game because it literally has nowhere to go. They're playing a game 2v3 basically, and well, they're the 2 and I'm the 3. Unless they have like an Ice type, then you know it will get tough for me. Like a Warrain would probably destroy this squad. But, you know, Warrain Warrain anymore, right? Warrain anymore. Actually, I do think Warrain is very strong in the current meta, so I would recommend you run it if you want to win some games. But right now, it's not that common, so that works out for this team for sure. Anyway, I actually brought out a Unnovan Stunfisk first by Gliscor, which is amazing, since Gliscor is literally my counter to Unnovan Stunfisk, so we're able to double Earthquake it and get to another Earthquake versus Bronzong, take it out, and then opponent just concedes, so you know it's over. Gliscor just destroyed them, and that just shows you how strong that thing can be. It is so deceptive how fast it gets to Earthquakes right now, so definitely a Pokemon I can recommend you try out. Anyway, that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you are running in Season 13 of Go Battle League down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.